A few of you have been asking for a while now for a story time about how I met Pablo, who's my Costa Rican boyfriend and also my high school teacher's husband's younger brother. So here it is. I don't even really know where to begin this story, but basically last summer my lease was ending in Boulder, Colorado, so I went home to Durango, Colorado, which is where I'm from, and I just went home for a couple weeks to figure it out, and pretty quickly I decided that I was going to come to Costa Rica. The day after I decided to go to Costa Rica, I went to the grocery store and I ran into my high school teacher, and I was like, oh my god, Jessica, this is crazy. I just decided that I'm going to move to Costa Rica for a while. And I knew that she had lived in Costa Rica. We all knew, all the students knew, because the other teachers would sometimes pull out a picture of her on Google dancing with Matthew McConaughey in Costa Rica, and they would make fun of her for it. So we all knew that she lived in Costa Rica. And I was like, what an amazing coincidence. And she was like, that's so awesome, like, we should meet up. She was kind of in a rush. She was about to go camping, so she's like, let's meet at the park in a couple days and we'll chat about it. So I was like, okay, amazing. A few days later, we meet up at the park and she's like, where are you moving? And I was like, oh, I'm going to this little place called Santa Teresa. And she was like, are you kidding me? And I was like, no. And she was like, no way, that is where I live, that's where I met my husband, that's where my husband grew up, and that's where our family is. So it was just amazing. I was honestly relieved to hear that even though I didn't know anyone there, I knew somebody who knew somebody there. And then the day before I left, she asked me if she could drop off some photos for me to deliver to her sister-in-law, aka Pablo's sister, at the pharmacy where she works. And I said, yes, of course, bring the photos. And then I got to Costa Rica, and it took me a little bit of time to actually deliver the photos. Hold on, we need to pause and look at the sunset. But once I did, I met Pablo's sister, and I couldn't speak any Spanish really at this time, so I wasn't entirely sure what she was saying, but I did understand that she had asked me, do you know my brother Pablo? Have you met him? And I said no. And apparently she didn't text Pablo, but an hour later, Pablo texted me. And he was like, hola, Elizabeth, do you want to go surfing sometime? And I was like, yeah. So we made a plan to meet up, and actually in retrospect, thinking about this timeline, the universe and God works in mysterious ways. Because I don't think I was ready to meet Pablo until the day that I actually met him. We made a plan to meet up. I messed up my knee, then the knee healed rapidly, and we met up. He picked me up on his motorcycle and took me to the beach, and we went surfing, and then we went to a waterfall, and we just had the most spontaneous day. We didn't know any of this was going to happen. This is just the first day that we met, and we've been together ever since.